I don't really have any props for my speech, but I have it typed up on my Microsoft Word, and I'm going to use that as my guidelines to go off of. And it's right here. Alright, the title of my speech is Animal Abuse. Alright, as you walk outside, get in the car, put on your seatbelt, shift the car into reverse, and back out your driveway. You drive down the road and you see something in the distance. You can't really make out what it is, but as you get a little bit closer, you can see it a little bit clearer, and you see that it's a dog tied up to the railing on the side of the road. You know it hasn't eaten in days because you can see that its ribs are sticking out, and its face is bloody from what you assume was abuse. People abuse or abandon their animals should go to jail. People in the world treat their pets like family, as if they were one of their own children. People who own animals should go to jail for abusing and abandoning their pets. Making people pay fines for abusing and abandoning animals just isn't enough. Do you think that they really care? Because they don't. These people are going to keep doing what they're doing to these animals. What if this was a child? Will we just make them pay a fine then? No. We would send them to jail. Alright? There are probably a million and millions of stray cats and dogs who've been left behind by their needless people who are either overwhelmed by the task of caring for the animal or don't take the time to find alternative care for their pets. People who abandon their pets at rest stops or by the woods or places where they are forced to fend for themselves by killing rabbits, frogs, birds, and other things should just go to jail. People treat their pets like they're their own children. Then people, if they're going to do this, then people should take the consequences as if it was a real child. The acts of violence or neglect perpetrated against animals are considered animal cruelty. Starvation, suffering, fear, pain, slow death, or constant torment are unimaginable conditions to most people. However, these are countless and untold thousands of animals whose lives will never offer anything but those conditions. They are intelligent animals who feel love, sorrow, pain, fear, happiness. The only thing they have in this world is their owner. To them, we are their whole world. Like, without us, they have nothing. Imagine having, like, that feeling. And the only person that you know and love mistreating you and then just leaving you behind on your own and not knowing what to do. And breeders produce pedigree animals to supply the market for designer pets. And people may want their pet to look a certain way, but they are frequently unprepared for the health and welfare problems that these animals bring with them. And this goes along with the animal abuse too, because people try to breed different animals together to make them look a certain way, because that's what people want, not realizing that when you do this, you could cause seriously bad health issues to these pets. Alright, and these problems include alright, so for example, Persian cats and pug dogs, for example, they're bred to look cute, but their squashed faces can cause sinus and breathing problems and weeping eyes. And bulldogs, bred to look butch and stocky, also have respiratory problems, and they can't run the right way properly because their legs are so small. And then with some different kinds of cats, they're bred with floppy backbones, making them good to cuddle with, but it's hard for them to jump. In fact, these scientists have found that inherited weaknesses causing breathing difficulties, heart problems, and lameness can be found in all types of pedigree dogs. Certain breeds of dogs can traditionally use to have their tails cut off, purely for cosmetic reasons. Happily, vets increasingly refuse to perform this mutilation though. And most breeders treat their animals like baby machines, forcing them to have litter after money-making litter. When the breeding animals are too old or stop having enough babies, they may be killed. And then runts of the litter who don't make the grade, or those surplus to demand, are frequently disposed of by drowning or some other distressed method. And I think it's wrong. It's terrible. And because of all of this, there's now a new Animal Health and Welfare Act. It took place in 2006, and it places a duty of care on pet owners to ensure that the needs of their animals are met failing to take responsible steps to ensure the welfare of an animal can now lead to a jail sentence. It is more important than ever that people who are thinking of taking on an animal or already have one put his or her needs first and foremost. Under the new law, animals must have adequate room, fresh bedding, and shelter from adverse weather. They must be allowed to express their natural behavior and to interact with other animals when appropriate. Keeping a single rabbit in a dirty hutch at the bottom of the garden or a rat in a tiny cage with nothing to occupy his bright mind could now lead to a prosecution in jail. The maximum penalty under this act is a $20,000 fine or 51-week jail sentence, or both. And I feel that this new law is very much needed. Thank you.